Oh, hey. What's going on? It's only Tuesday. Sean in the Yukon writes the following in the chat. Who's ready for the collaborative, strategic, integrated decision-making, alignment, accountability with high talent density culture, aligned discipline, infrastructure, conviction era? It'll be fun times at MLSC. Hit it, Azza.
For the audio, or you can even watch back, giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion, going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion, going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back, giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K, 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 S-I-C-K,
All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick.
You are now listening to The Sid Seixeiro Show. Powered by Sick Media, the sickest Toronto sports show. Now, here's your host, Sid.
What up? We could go 4 hours today. We won't. We're going 2, but we got a lot to get to. It's Sid. Good to see you. We're live on X. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook to everyone listening audio only. We appreciate you. Hopefully you're enjoying your day, your evening, whenever you're listening to this. Sid Seixeiro Show, powered by Sick Media. Right off the bat, we would like to wish you a happy Cinco de Mayo, everyone. Cinco de Mayo. Señores and señoritas, it is Cinco de Mayo. It is a fantastic day. It celebrates the Mexican Army's unexpected victory over French forces at the Battle of Puebla in May of 1862. It's not necessarily a Mexican independence holiday. It's more of we kick someone's ass in a big-time battle. Hooray for us. And Cinco de Mayo has gone from that moment to half-price margaritas at a fast food chain. That's kind of where it's gone. But it's Cinco de Mayo, and we may partake in some Mexican food a little later on.
Oh, yeah.
I think so. Also, it's Cinco de Maple Leafs. It's a big night for the Maple Leafs. 24 hours after it was a big day down at Real Sports. Draft lotteries tonight. I don't know if you've heard. 7 o'clock, Azzo and myself will be right back here, 7 p.m. Eastern. And we will be watching the NHL draft lottery and all the balls bounce with you. Who gets the first pick? Canucks have a 25.5% chance. The best odds. Do the Canucks finally pick first for the first time in their franchise's history? Is it the Calgary Flames? They're kind of lurking. They have a bunch of prospects and picks already. Do they get another one? We'll see. The Leafs, 5th worst odds in the National Hockey League this year. 8.5% chance of the first overall pick. Also, fun fact, if the Leafs drop out of the top 5, they get no pick. Goes to Boston. The drama tonight for this draft lottery is wild. So Azzo and I will be streaming live on Facebook, X, and Twitter at 7 p.m. Eastern, and we will sit here for the shock and awe of all of it with you. Depending on how big the stream gets, I don't know when we're ending. I don't know. But I'll tell you this. If you're, Azzo's shocked at that. There's no end date to the stream tonight. We didn't talk about this ahead of time. He's a little shocked. We all could be shocked tonight, depending on how this goes. I mean, again, the Brandon Carlo Leaf top 5 protected thing is looming large. If it's not top 5, the Leafs are losing that pick. Thanks, Brad. The worst thing is, let's say the Leafs keep the pick. It's an unprotected first next year to Boston. Who the hell knows what that looks like? That's a whole nother thing. Either way, you're going to get kicked in the groin. It's tough, but we'll all do it together tonight on the stream. And we'll stick around as long as we have to, or as long as Azzo allows it, because he controls the stream. He can literally say, click, stream is done. That's the power that Jeff Azzopardi has. But, thinking about tonight and the draft lottery, I did wake up this morning thinking about all the terrible things that have happened to Leaf fans this season. Among the worst things, having to watch the team play. Having to watch Craig Berube operate. Having to see a coach make 0 adjustments. Having to watch Morgan Riley try and box out. Having to watch the Auston Matthews Radko Gudas incident. Having to listen to Craig Berube at the end of the season say we have a good culture. Having to listen to Keith Pelley say they have a terrible culture. Not that much earlier. It has been like one thing, watching William Nylander do anything. Flipping birds, flipping pucks, you name it. Not playing defense. Like, it's been bad for Leaf fans this year. A lot of negatives. Like, what's been the positive? Mitch Marner comes into town and standing ovation. What's the positive? Like, right now, what's the best thing that's happened to the Leafs this season? You can't think of one. Easton Cowan. I'll give you Easton Cowan and Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Right? That's it. They played 82 games. There was a preseason. There was exit interviews. 2 Keith Pelley press conferences that made you want to punch yourself in the face just to feel something. There has been no positives. None. Except for one. You at least got a bottom 5 record. At least you have a chance tonight. A chance tonight to keep your first round pick in a draft where there's some decent looking defensemen in there that you could desperately use. The highlight of the Leafs season could happen this evening in Secaucus, New Jersey at around 7 p.m. Eastern. Do the Leafs keep their pick? Do they get the first? Whoa. What a world that could be. But still, it's this anxiety-riddled thing with Leaf fans right now because it could all go down the toilet tonight as well. You can lose the pick. This is cruel and unusual punishment. Brad Treliving's not good at his job. This was a crazy turn of events. And Fraser Minten goes in that trade. For Brandon Carlo, the biggest defenseman you've ever seen who doesn't throw a hit. The Leafs had that covered. They didn't need another non-hitter. They didn't need that. They got one, and they paid through the nose for it. What's going to happen tonight? The Leafs have not had a good thing happen to them this year. Easton Cowan aside, they have not had a positive thing happen to them this season. They could get it this evening. If the balls bounce their way, there are 1,001 different combinations that could play out tonight as they draw for the first and second pick. Do the Leafs finally get a break? Specifically, do their fans get a break? Does the fan base get a break tonight on Cinco de Maple Leafs? We'll find out. We're going to be live, 7 p.m. Eastern, Azzo and myself streaming on X, YouTube, and on the Twitter machine, and it is going to be quite the scene. You know what? The more I think about it, like how many more bad things can possibly happen to the Leafs? I think the Leafs are going to have something good. Yeah, I'm going to say it, Azzo.
No, why would you
The
say
Leafs
that?
are going to finally have something positive happen to them this evening. Their long-suffering fan base. The guy in Calgary or Edmonton who has the basement of apparel. You know the guy I'm talking about. Leaf fans across Ontario and Canada, especially the uber positive ones online, who never criticize the team. You deserve something positive. Damn it. I think it's going to happen. I'm in a positive mood. I woke up positive, had a great breakfast. Don't want to get into it. Great breakfast. It's Cinco de Mayo. What can possibly go wrong for Leaf fans today? You're going to keep your pick. At some point, this is going to turn around. What's that? Chris Johnston has an article. Let's see what he's writing about here. Oh, Azzo, thank you for bringing it up. For the listening audience, let me read the tweet that Chris Johnston of TSN and The Athletic put out today. New for The Athletic. Auston Matthews isn't yet sure if he'll be back in Toronto next season. The Maple Leafs are on the clock with their captain.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, that escalated quickly. You think Austin watched the press conference yesterday?
Oh, boy.
Sorry, Auston Matthews wasn't impressed with deep due diligence? He wasn't impressed by that? No? Okay. I woke up to that notification today from CJ. One of the best reporters in Canada. Not sports reporters. One of the best reporters in Canada. I know some of you Leaf fans don't want to hear that. But the best reporters in this country aren't there to make you feel better. They're there to tell you what's happening. If you don't like it, mute. Leave it for the rest of us. CJ's not wrong a lot. Like ever. And a few of us in this room and around the country have gotten to know Chris a little bit. He is a man of honor professionally, and he's not a BSer. Everyone has different types of sources. I understand that. He's been in this game a long time. So I'm going to read you two blurbs from this Athletic article from Chris Johnston. Here's the first. Auston Matthews has 2 years remaining on his contract, but still isn't sure if he'll be back in Toronto in the fall, according to sources. CJ goes on to write the following. The only sales pitch Matthews needs at this stage is real action, according to league sources. Before committing to another season in Toronto, he wants to see a roster that has been meaningfully upgraded through trades and free agency. This isn't about selling him on a fancy 12-point plan or a bunch of vague promises. Seeing is believing. Check out The Athletic for the entire column, but that's the gut of it. And those are the notes that have Leaf Nation in a bit of a tizzy. Less than 24 hours after John Chayka and Mats Sundin were introduced alongside Keith Pelly as the new front office of the Toronto Maple Leafs, while the MLSE interns ate chicken wings in the balcony above. Excuse me, can the rich executive's son and daughter, who's an intern, can you clap now? Can you clap now, please? So weird. Thank you. Would you like some hot sauce on the side or just buffalo sauce? Let us know. Let us know. Would you like another mocktail? We can get you another mocktail. Jen and Chet, do you want another mocktail or not? Let us know. Now, we do kind of need the other side of this. And at his media avail at the end of the season, Auston Matthews, who needed MCL surgery after Ratko Gudas cheap shot at him, and no one on the Leafs stuck up for him in the moment. Nobody. Auston Matthews was rather vague. And I think most of us could pick up on that. I know there were some Leaf fans with their heads in the sand, and I get it. But I was on record on this platform as saying, back then, on that afternoon, this was not a good day if you're concerned about Auston Matthews. Because he gave you nothing. Zip. To no one's surprise. All of a sudden, Auston Matthews, who's been telling you to go to hell about his injury news forever, is going to be honest with you about that. Sure. And I don't disagree with it. But the feeling on locker cleanout was off. To Matthews' credit, there was no boss. So what is he going to say? We now have bosses at MLSE. GM of hockey operations is John Chayka, who's been a pariah in the league since his Coyotes days, who now is running like the financial crown jewel. Wild. And Mats Sundin is an advisor. We'll get to Mats a little later on. But we were going through, or I was going through, and Azo, all the media that kind of dropped after the press conference yesterday. The immediate thing I noticed was, and I've been watching the Leafs. I'm 40 years old. I've been watching the Leafs a long time. And especially in the era of 2 sports radio stations in this town, I've kind of known the drill. The drill is you become GM of the Leafs, you do TSN radio, you do the Fan. How that's scheduled, when that happens, it's always up to PR. It's up to the hosts. I've been in that seat. It depends on certain things. But 9 times out of 10, 9.5 times out of 10, that's the schedule. You might have to tape with one to go on the other and vice versa. There's some ego involved. I've been there. Quite frankly, so was Azo. And it's a normal occurrence when a Leafs GM is hired. Press conference during the day, TSN radio, Fan 590. Unless I'm missing something. Yesterday is the first day I can remember in my life, in the business, in any way, where TSN did not get the GM. I didn't see a Duthie interview. I didn't see a Dreger interview. I didn't see a CJ interview. He wasn't on overdrive. I didn't see anything. TSN's a rights holder still, the last time I checked, for the Leafs. I find that weird. And I honestly, because I'm now outside looking in, I don't know what that means. I know Jeff O'Neill justifiably has been pretty tough on Chayka and the search. But I don't know why a show like Overdrive wouldn't get Chayka on unless the Leafs are terrified. The Leafs are terrified of what they've just done. Whoever made the decision inside MLSE to hire John Chayka really wanted John Chayka, but isn't like comfortable putting him too much out there. Like Overdrive is a bridge too far. All 3 of the guys were in studio yesterday. Like was ready for the interview. Nope, nothing. I can't remember the last time that happened in this town. I cannot remember it. TSN's a player. They are significant hockey producer. They do hockey pretty damn well. Some would say the best. And to have that be the case was an eye-opener. So I want to get that out there because it's been bothering me since I saw it. So I just want to say that, and you take that any way you want to take it. Because it happened. That's the truth. I've never seen that before in this town. TSN Radio and The Fan have split that evenly every time. Every time. Shanahan's hiring, Dubas, Treliving went on like numerous times before things went south. And Treliving's still the best guy in front of the media I've seen in that organization in a long time. Despite the fact he couldn't make a trade. He was really good. Saw that with Ferguson Jr. It was a constant in this city media-wise. And I understand things change. I don't want to be the old guy saying, nah. But I found that odd. I found that very, very weird. So that aside, the new Leafs hierarchy did make a series of Rogers appearances yesterday. One was Real Kipper and Bourne. I caught the first 20 minutes of that show yesterday. I didn't see the interview. I'll watch it later tonight. Obviously, Sundin and Kipper have a very good relationship, and so that makes sense. But I did catch Elliott sit down with Chayka and Sundin. With all due respect to Sundin, I didn't find it that interesting. It was Chayka I found very interesting. And if the timeline is correct, because before the press conference yesterday, MLSE put out a photo of the three of them, Pelly, Chayka, and Sundin, in the Leafs dressing room. And Elliott's sit down with John Chayka was in a very oddly lit Leafs dressing room. I'm under the impression Elliott did those interviews before the press conference, which means Chayka was a bit more relaxed, which means I think we got better stuff. So I'm going to spend the next little bit with Azo here and go through what Elliott got, because I thought Elliott did a very good job. Yeah, for those listening, we threw the photo up of what MLSE tweeted out. So I'm going to assume Elliott did this interview before the press conference. Chayka felt and sounded more relaxed. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I probably would as well. Fried's just disarming. He knows what he's doing. I get it. But let's start with Matthews, considering Chris Johnston has launched a grenade here in terms of Auston Matthews doesn't know whether he's back in the fall. That's a strong statement. Auston Matthews isn't happy is very different from Auston Matthews doesn't know if he's going to be here. That's severe. Now, this conversation between Fried and John Chayka, the new GM of the Toronto Maple Leafs, happened before this report came out, in all fairness. So that's the context, obviously, of it. But Elliott did ask about Auston Matthews. Chayka talks a bit about the relationship, which some people are debating, between Matthews and Chayka, and then goes on to talk about Matthews. Here it is.
Matthews.
Yeah.
Let's take hypotheticals here.
Okay.
At some point, you're going to meet with him.
Yep.
First of all, what's your relationship with him? We've heard a lot about that.
Yeah. I was lucky to be general manager when Auston was coming up before his draft year even. And, just to see him in that community and see him engaging with people. And, the skill level is obvious at that age even. But the type of person he is really stood out. And, he was friends with a lot of our players and he was always around. And so, just got to know him through that. I was also lucky to spend some time with his family. Again, I'm just in the area. Wonderful people, world-class people. Really, tells a story of how Auston was raised, and I think that matters when you're talking about a challenge like Toronto. I think as time's gone by, I know Judd. I know, again, his dad, and spent a lot of time around the group. But I'd say this is a different position, and we're going to build a different relationship. And he's the captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs. He holds a big stake in everything we do. And I want to go and listen and hear what he has to say.
I heard in a lot of the interviews, it was very clear that people felt, who were interviewing for the job, that if they're going to be successful here, Auston Matthews must be convinced to stay. And I think the organization wants that too, correct?
Correct.
How do you convince him that you can go on the right path here?
Yeah, I think Austin's ultimate goal is the same as ours. So it's a shared goal, common goal. And, it's our both Mats and I, our job to meet with him and understand his perspective. Again, we're joining. He's been here. He's the captain. He's got a good feel for things. We want to hear his view and hear how he thinks about things and what he thinks needs to be improved. And then we're going to share our vision as well. And Mats and I have a lot of ideas on things. Mats, from being a captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs, being in the locker room, being a successful NHL player, the hardest working guy, the leader, the most humble. And I think on my side, a lot of thoughts around roster construction, team building, and not just for one day or one move or one season. Like, we want to show him a long-term vision that can get him excited.
That was John Chayka yesterday with Friedge. We have a lot more of that coming because there was some good stuff Friedge got. Very good stuff. John Chayka mentioned roster construction. I want to read this line from CJ's article one more time, okay? Because there's been some good reporting on this in this town. I think what Chris Johnson did this morning is the biggest of the lot. This is no joke what he threw out there today. And this is from Matthews' camp. This is Judd Moldaver. This is everyone's aligned here on Team Matthews. This line I can't shake in CJ's column. Before committing to another season in Toronto, Matthews wants to see a roster that has been meaningfully upgraded through trades and free agency. Do yourself a favor and look at the Leafs roster. How in the world does anyone, and I mean anyone, I don't care if Julien Brisebois, Bill Zito, and Jim Nill walk through the door with Doug Armstrong. I don't care if that's your front office. Who in the world in the next 4 months is turning this roster old, slow, indifferent, immature, and locked into no trades into a competitive outfit? We're talking 4 months. It's not reasonable. It's not a reasonable request, which is why something else has happened here that I don't think fans realize. Matthews knows that's an unreasonable request. Guys, he's gone. He's gone. He's never playing another game for this team again. That request he just made, he knows they can't do. So he is making them the bad guy. Unlike that idiot Marner, he is not going to pin this on the fans or being bothered at Scadabouche or I don't know what else he's going to come up with. Auston Matthews' strategy is now clear. Improve the team in 3 months or I'm gone. They can't do that. You know they can't do that. This is a staggering piece of reporting from Chris Johnston. He's gone, guys. It's over. They're not going to be able to do it. Who are you going to get for Morgan Riley to satisfy Auston Matthews? You're going to get a top-line winger? What are you smoking? It took less than 24 hours. We had a feeling there might be something today when we walked through the door, coming off that press conference. Boy, did we have it. CJ's as serious as a heart attack with this. Leaf fans are like, oh, it's garbage. This report's nothing. Guys, he's gone. He is going to set up a situation where they can't deliver. And he knows it. And he will make them look like the bad guy. And he will decide where he goes. And the Leafs will just take it and like whatever the return is. You're not getting Quinn Hughes for this. That's not how this is going to work. I understand Leaf fans will disagree with everything I said because everything's amazing. Everything's amazing. Right, because you just didn't see another superstar walk out of there a year ago because the Leafs are that organized, right? because the Leafs are that organized. We're in one now. We're in one now. I read something very simple in that. He's gone. Auston Matthews has played his final game as a member of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Unless Chayka and Sundin are miracle workers, and I got news for you, they're probably not in 4 months. We are in for quite the summer here in the Toronto sports market. Quite the summer. I did wake up a little positive today. Believe it or not, I did. It's Cinco de Mayo. We're going to eat some quesadillas later. Draft lottery tonight. Leafs might actually catch a break. Out of the 1,001 combinations that could happen tonight, maybe the Leafs get one. Maybe they get one. And then this report from Chris Johnston in The Athletic. I understand any Leaf fan who's mad at this reporting. I understand any Leaf fan who is like, this is ridiculous. The media. Your hockey team doesn't know what it's doing. And the players know it. That's not the media's fault. You need to take this report very seriously from CJ. Very seriously. And for people walking in the wilderness today who are Leaf supporters who don't think this is that big a deal, you are about to get run over by an 18-wheeler. Like that scene in the video for Enter Sandman when the kid's running. Remember that scene? One of the great songs of that era. Kid thought he was fine, and then he has to run, and then the truck hits the bed, and the kid knows you got a problem. This report is the truck hitting the bed. Leaf fans have a problem here. I have a sneaking suspicion John Chayka's not up for it. I have a sneaking suspicion Keith Pelly not up for it. But in terms of Chayka and Sundin, like, I know it's been a tidal wave of negative press. In fairness, you know, usually any of us in high school or college or university, when you start a semester, the exam comes at the end. The exam's going to come at the beginning for them. Good luck. The exam's been pushed up. No lessons. No seminars. Nope. The exam's like 30 days away. The entire sales pitch that Chayka and or Sundin made to people internally gets thrown in the garbage if Matthews walks and forces a trade, which he can. That's what no trade movements are all about. And this is now an impossible situation for MLSE. One last thing before I bring in Azo. For all the people inside MLSE who were looking forward to a retool, you are SOL. Because if Matthews walks, to the studs. There is no other option. You are going to pay the NHL $10 billion for hockey, and the Leafs will be the least valuable TV property in the game. They will be nothing. This rebuild is about to start if this plays out this way. Look out. But hopefully the Leafs get a break tonight in the draft lottery. Jeff Azzopardi, good afternoon.
Where'd all that positivity go, Sid? Come on.
A CJ notification. That's where it went. I was feeling decent, I swear to God, I was feeling decent. I was feeling good. I'm like, it's going to be a fun day. That was, it was amusing yesterday, but it's a news conference. It's not the end of the world. It's almost the land of make-believe. It's fine. Today, rubber hits the road. Draft lottery. Boom, boom,
Happy
boom.
Chayka de Mayo. Let's go.
Chayka de Mayo. Boom,
Hopefully
boom.
they get a pick in the top cinco, right? Like, wow.
And then this report from CJ. What do you make of it?
What he said. Can I say that again? Yeah, I'm good with that, boss.
I'm Pelly
Whatever you said.
and you're Chayka. Boom.
No, I think you're bang on, man. And I think that press conference proved everything. Like, I got a lot of texts from my friends last night, like, what's going on here? Man, are we in for dark days? And I think you know it, because to your point, this roster is a disaster. People in the chat are pointing it out. There's nobody really of substance in free agency that I think they're going to be able. Well, there's nobody in there.
Alex Tuck is going to make things better.
Robertson,
for Auston Matthews.
I think they stay where they're at. Like,
really?
There's no names out there. You can, and then with all the no movement clauses, yeah, I don't see how you do it. But it did make me think: is that why Chayka's the man here? Because the man, like, we all see it. The chat sees it. We see it. Management must know that they are in for dark days. So why not hire a guy with a bit of a checkered past to be that fall guy and to be the face of it and wear it? He knows he probably wasn't getting another chance in the league. You
think that's why they brought in Chayka? I want to understand the theory. I don't hate the theory. You think things are going to get? You think ownership believes things are going to get so bad here? To hell with it. Roll the dice on what many people still will debate to you and argue to you is a really smart guy who just made some mistakes, and see where this goes. That's the theory.
But who really thinks he's a smart guy because he couldn't get another job in the league?
Well, someone inside MLSE thinks he's a smart guy. I can guarantee you that.
Did you see Simmons' piece yesterday?
I didn't. Somebody brought this to my attention today, and I think you need to let the people hear it.
So there's a piece in Simmons' latest piece. You think he threw a grenade into that press conference yesterday. I'll read you, again, two little quick
Steve Simmons, obviously, of the Toronto Sun. Yes.
Right. Yeah, so here's how part of it goes. Pelly, so the story goes, hired Chayka. But Chayka apparently told two hockey agents on the weekend that he was hired by corporate head and future owner Edward Rogers, not by Pelly. The truth, of course, is probably somewhere in the middle. And it sheds some dubious light on Pelly's time as CEO of Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment.
So again, what Steve Simmons is reporting, and you don't need me to tell you, Steve's been trending the last 24 hours. For verbally accosting everyone at MLSE for this hire. Again, not my style. I think there's another way you could have asked that, but
of course,
that's Steve's style.
And Pelly, to your point, Pelly could have said that to him with his family sitting right there.
Well, but here's where I want to go with it. So Steve has that report that Chayka's telling people Ed Rogers hired him, not Pelly.
Right.
If that's true, hold on a second. If that's true, then it would bring some credence to how Pelly handled that moment with Steve Simmons. Because if Pelly really did hire Chayka, like if I'm Pelly in that situation, I'm way angrier in that moment.
Agreed.
I'm way angrier in that moment. If that's my person, I go, look, first off, that's pretty unprofessional, Steve, with his family here. You want to talk? You want to get some comments from me on background? That's fine. His family's here. Let's have a little bit more respect. Secondly, point A, point B, point C. Right. Why I hired him.
He's your guy. Most important hire of my career.
If you want to hit the table and do one of those, even better. I'm a big hit the table guy. Love it. But Pelly didn't do that.
Right.
Pelly didn't do that. And I wondered why, both live with you and most of last night. I found that to be one of the more odd moments of the press conference. How cool Pelly was at being talked down to like some 7-year-old. That's not Keith Pelly.
Watching your guy get kicked in front of his family.
Like, a disaster.
Man. And then but then also to your point, like it also made me think maybe they didn't get any entrance from respected guys in this business. And that's another reason that told management, hey, we're in for some dark days. Some of these guys are saying no to us. Like, could we be in trouble here? Well, who can we hire to own this?
Look, there's still a lot of questions. I think what leaves this open for Steve Simmons to drive right through with that kind of theory, that Chayka was not hired by Pelly and hired by Ed Rogers, is we got no real answers yesterday. Keith Pelly did not walk us through really what he was thinking. All he told us was we're impressed with his vision. We did due diligence, and not just due diligence, deep due diligence, which is way better than regular due diligence. Mm-hmm. When you go deep, it's better. But like past that, we didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
We didn't hear anything. So Steve Simmons and anyone else who has some reporting that they want to source out and go with, the dance floor is open, man. The dance floor is completely open for further speculation. The goal of that press conference yesterday, and not one but 2 interviews with Rogers Properties with Chayka and Sundin, shut it down as to why you hired him, and you still couldn't do it. And if Pelly didn't hire him, I know why he couldn't do it, because he didn't hire him.
To me, it also means he knows he's not getting the best guy for the job. Right? Like, again, I just think it's so cycled because maybe you didn't get that interest. This is a guy who could be the fall guy. And then you bring Mats in as the figurehead who's going to change the culture, who's the things fans want to hear. He's going to be the guy. And again, where it leaves you with Auston is, I know you're going to hate to hear this, but he's like somewhere in the middle here because, again, he is close with Shane Doan, who has a shady past with this guy, whatever it is. And if Shane Doan saw him, he screwed him over as a player, what's he going to do to you? Like, I don't know how close Chayka is. And then you're hearing mixed reports about how close Chayka really does know Auston, how much he had in him, like at his time when he was coming up. Like, I don't know, man. There's a lot of stuff in here that would make it seem like, I don't want to say shady, but like, which would cause concern for Auston Matthews.
I got news for everyone. Auston Matthews, if he's leaving the Leafs, and he might, it ain't because of Shane Doan.
No, not because of him, but again, it's just something else to pile on to.
Yeah, but like the things to pile on are not equal. They're not equivalent. Like some things matter, some things don't. Like Auston Matthews, when he walked out of that arena on locker cleanout, I think he knew he was done. Quite frankly, some of the answers you heard, it's not hard to parse.
But again, for a guy who used to cheer and love Arizona and love Shane Doan as a player and seeing what this guy did to that organization.
Okay. Azo, again, if you want to believe Shane Doan is playing any role in this, go ahead. But I'm not going down that ridiculous.
No, but again, it's because he sees how much of a roster mess this is. And this doesn't seem to be the guy.
Let's get to the issue. That's the issue. The issue is he is challenging them in 4 months to pull off a Houdini act. There's no way.
No chance.
Because guess what? They still are. Listen, the one thing the Leafs have done here properly is timing. In any other situation, you bring in a GM, let them have 3 weeks just to talk to people. And that's what they have. It won't even be June yet. Like, that's proper timing for the Leafs. That's the one thing here they've done well. Dare I say it? I haven't said that out loud in a long time about the Maple Leafs. The one thing they've done here well is timing in terms of the hiring. Because you need to allow Chayka and Sundin to speak. Sundin yesterday said he hasn't even spoken to Nylander. I don't know if I believe that, but that's what he said. That's what he told Friedge.
They're going to have dinner with Berube next week, right?
Later this week, apparently.
Later this week, yeah.
There's a lot going on in this chat right now.
Sure.
Forgive me.
But Berube is another one, which we'll get to, right?
We'll get to in a second. Gus in the chat. That's deep, man. Yeah, that is deep. Shane Doan is the catalyst to our success, Crickets. Pierre, there's a lot of Pierre Dorians here.
Yeah,
too.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to Dorian.
But what do you think? If they know that it's going to be dark days, like they bring this guy in to be the face of the failure. We're hearing Spinning Chicklets saying this could be the worst hire we've ever seen in this league. A guy like Biz, who's close to the Coyotes, says he's out on this.
But here's what's interesting about what Simmons put in his column today and last night. And I know there's a lot of people that will eternally hate Steve Simmons. Steve Simmons does not work for the Leafs. I know that bothers you. Chris Johnston does not work for the Leafs. I know that bothers you. And if it bothers you, they're doing their job properly. Like, you still don't get it. Their job is not to make you happy. Their job is to report what they're hearing. And quite frankly, when Simmons tried to embarrass Pelly in front of the hockey world, and he did, Pelly didn't really push back. We did our due diligence. That guy's wife and kids are in the front row. We did our due diligence.
We spoke to different people.
If I'm family members, I'm like, thanks, pal, for that defense. Thanks. That's Nick Lidstrom levels of defense for my husband and our dad. Thanks, Keith. Appreciate it. It was pathetic.
Even to just say we spoke to different people. Like, that's weird to me.
We spoke to different people.
Right?
Toronto Brat in the chat. Simmons is a boss. Gabrielle in the chat. Stone Cold Steve Simmons. Again, I would have handled it differently myself. But the notion that any reporter that writes anything that you don't like about the Leafs, that reporter is an idiot or doesn't know what they're talking about or has an agenda. You don't get it. That's not Steve Simmons has been here longer than any of you. It is hard in this town to be that opinionated and stick around. And Simmons has.
Oh, sure.
I don't always agree with this stuff, but he's still here, and he's still getting your attention, and he still scooped everyone to when that press conference was happening yesterday.
True.
So like put some respect on his name. Like, enough of this. Do I have his style? No.
Not many do.
I think that's a bit of a professional environment yesterday. There needs to be a bit more decorum than that.
Of course.
A bit more. But let's not all of a sudden go, no one knows what they're talking about. Chris Johnston's the guy. Let me remind you. Chris Johnston's the guy last year, a month and a half before it happened, that told you, guys, Marner's not coming back. He said that, and he was right. Well ahead of time. Well, some of you pigeons are on Twitter going, Mitch, I love you. Please stay. Well, you have a Mitch Marner picture in your avatar. Tell it on yourself. That guy actually knows what's going on. Like, some Leaf fans actually need to use some of the sources in this town to prepare and to brace instead of constantly getting sideswiped in this make-believe Candyland world that you built for yourself. You like your team more than Auston Matthews does. You need to get a hold of that. Get a grip on that. It's going to happen to you again. Before you see the Matthews traded to the Rangers or the Kings headline come over your notifications. They're trying to help you, is the truth. They're going to get clicks too. I get it. But like there's truth in this. Like you got to wake up to it, guys. You got to wake up to it. What if Auston Matthews, like some of the things I'm seeing on this chat, in terms of the press conference yesterday and what a lot of you said online, like if you think you're mad, what's Auston thinking? You don't think Auston saw that yesterday?
Exactly.
You don't think Auston Matthews saw that yesterday? No one defends Auston Matthews on the ice, and no one cared to defend Chayka off the ice yesterday. Pelly had no care to do that. We talked to different people, I guess. The equivalent of William Nylander looking for a penalty. That's what that was. I couldn't believe that. But if Pelly's not the one who really wanted this guy in the first place, it's starting to make some sense to me. Two blurbs today are blowing my mind. That from Simmons and Chris Johnston's reporting.
Oh. And again, from the text I got from Leaf fans that are my friends, from seeing this chat, it's pretty obvious to me that everyone's seeing how much of a disaster. And I feel like people just ignored it for so long, how bad this situation is. And it's becoming quite clear. It's becoming quite clear to us, the chat, my friends, management, Auston, everybody sees how hard this is going to be and how it's probably an impossible mission. Well, and that's why you bring in a guy like Chayka.
I mean, a few of us have been there for a couple of years.
Yeah, no, I know.
I got to be honest with you.
I'm saying a lot of people tried to ignore it.
Jack in the chat, even if Matthews starts the season with the Leafs, the narrative all year will he be traded? Gross. It won't be, because the Leafs can't let it get to that point.
And then to bring it full circle, like to your saying,
he'll be gone.
When you have real reporters in one area and yet you only give them to the one property, because I'm with you. First time I didn't hear them on both platforms in I don't even know how long. They used to even bring them in studio to each place.
I remember those days. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it is crazy to me that he only went on the one platform that's going to be owned by the same team the organization is going to be owned by.
They are owned by.
Well, right.
Yeah.
Sorry, fully. Yeah, fully.
There's already people asking for a clean strip down here. They're ready for the tear down. Viper, the team is no good. I think we know that.
Yeah. That's what became clear to me.
The Leafs have never won a third round of the playoffs. Money. He's right.
He is right.
It was either
I love that.
It was
stat.
either original 6-2 rounds or they've never done it.
I love that stat it's so much.
It's very accurate. Blows my mind every time I see it.
Yeah, Judd Haven's with you. It's been obvious for a while how bad this roster is. Yeah, and it does seem people are starting to get ready for a full teardown, and because you need it.
Leaping Lanny Poffo in the chat writes, Sid's going to cry when Marner wins the cup. I will. 2 points for Marner last night. 3-1 win. Golden Knights over the Ducks.
Big goal, yeah.
Big goal.
Mm-hmm.
Nice to see Mitch wake up. It's adorable. It's adorable for him and his dog. Scooter? What's his dog's name again?
I have no idea.
Baxter? I forget.
Maybe Baxter.
Doesn't matter.
Right.
But I have to say, based on the chat, Azo, like there are more people ready for what's coming than fighting back on it.
I think you have to be at this point.
You got to be. Auston Matthews has set something up here through his agent or through whoever, and it's gotten to Chris Johnston They are setting up a scenario whenever John Chayka meets Matthews. By the way, whatever the priority was, Chayka's on a private plane right now to wherever Matthews
He
is.
should be. Better be.
I don't want to hear this Craig Berube meeting Friday. I don't give a damn. You get on a plane right now and you sort this out, or at least get some clarity. That's now priority 1, 2, 3, 7, and 8. Right now. You get his tall ass on a plane now.
But they're tight. They're tight. He told you how tight they were. Like, what if that isn't true? Like, what if he played that? Like, he's known him so long. They're so tight. And Austin's going, are we? Like, I don't know you like that.
I have heard that in the past about me. It pisses me off.
Oh, really?
Someone said, "Oh, I know him." I'm
Yeah,
like,
we're good.
I'm like, I don't know you.
Yeah.
What the hell are you telling people?
Right?
that
Like,
for?
it would kind of rub you the wrong way for a
Oh.
new guy coming in.
Oh yeah.
And just because you can name my parents and my agent and my sister, like, it's weird.
Couldn't name the daughters. Actually, couldn't name the sister. There's a lot of Matthews is gone. Galviano Matthews jersey sale for $10.
No, you
Real
can,
sports.
trust me, will they let you switch it? You can take it in and you can put any other player's name on it once it gets traded.
Like there's and Tony here in the chat. Chayka meeting with Berube wouldn't change anything anyway. It's still the wrong group of players for Berube. I just
But
don't think
that's the
Berube-
other thing, right?
Berube's just not a good coach.
It's true. It's the other thing you keep hearing. Berube is an old school coach, and they're saying they want to go in a new data driven direction. Doesn't seem like the two mix. What did Berube say about the data he was getting, the analytics he was getting for I get an email in the morning. Like, doesn't say he read it or used it.
Never. No, that goes in the trash.
So, like, they're
With-
just not on the same page.
Berube gets 2 emails in the morning: the analytics email and joke of the day. He reads the joke of the day. Throws the analytic one in the garbage.
That's good. But if you keep Berube, it's further to my point. These guys know how dark it's going to get, and it's just let these guys run it out and be the face of it.
You know what really worries me though, for whoever the kid is? What if the Leafs win the lottery? Do you know the pressure on this kid to make Auston Matthews happy if it even gets to that point? It might not get to that point. Auston Matthews may be traded well before the season. Yeah. But the pressure on this kid, they're not going to handle this pick properly, even if they get it. It's going to be Panic City. Veerhoff, the kid from North Dakota, go in there. Can you be a top 2 defenseman for us, please? Sure. As a teenager. Sure. Everyone's Matthew Schaefer. Sure.
Exactly. It's true.
The Leafs have no idea what they're
And
doing.
then you ruin his development totally, which they've done in the past. Again, to our point, like, I think they're better off getting the 3rd pick here.
It's just a wild scenario. It's a wild scenario.
And again, to your point, free agency doesn't help. No trade clauses doesn't help. They're like, man, they're screwed.
They are. Anything else on the Matthews part of this before we move on? Because there's a lot more.
Yeah.
Like the Leafs have a situation here on multiple fronts. Okay. So that's
you know what Matthews is? Like we talked about before, he's Jack on the raft just saying he's letting go. He's done.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Just floating away.
Yeah.
Did you see the Dave Hodge tweet yesterday?
Oh,
shout out Dave Hodge.
Yeah, tell people it was good. It was
Dave,
very good.
I love Dave Hodge for a lot of reasons, and I'm just going to do that. Just in honor of. Dave Hodge wrote the following: the Leafs might decide to keep Berube just so they don't have to hold a press conference to announce a head coach. That's good.
That's very good.
Well played,
Well
Mr.
played.
Hodge.
Very well.
Well played, Mr. Hodge.
Sports Reporters was one of the best shows, was it not?
Great show.
Oh my God, I used to love that.
Great show. Well, Dave Hodge. Dave Hodge for me was Hockey Night in Canada growing up.
Yeah, fair enough.
Until they wouldn't go to the Habs game, instead went to the National. These things happen. Not my call.
No.
Good for you, Dave Hodge. Good for you. Okay, the John Chayka Elliott interview, like I said, was good. Way better than the press conference for content. As mentioned, Chayka is planning to meet with Berube later this week with Sundin. I don't know what this Matthews thing has done to the schedule. I'm assuming things have been changed. But as of yesterday morning, the Berube sit-down was important on the schedule, and Elliot Friedman asked him about that.
Berube,
Yeah.
you said you met with him.
Call.
Call. Okay, excuse me. Thank you. You spoke to Berube.
Yep.
If he's going to be back, what does he have to say to you? How does that work?
Look, we're going to get together in person and we're going to walk through everything. And I think it'll be really important to understand, his thoughts on the roster and, his vision of what he sees going on the future. Obviously, it was a tough season, and he knows that. He said it himself, and he has ideas of ways he wants to get better. So I want to hear what those ideas are, and I want to understand, there's in a tough season, there's good times and there's bad times, and what does he do when the times are bad, and what did he try, and what worked and what didn't work, and I think those are all ideas that we should spend some time on together. I'd also say that I view the coaching relationship with the front office as a real collaboration. I think the coach is an organizational role, and so I just want to talk to him and hear his view on how he was integrated, and his view on all the different resources available to the Leafs, and how we can maybe do a better job with all that.
A collaboration is not what most people would describe the relationship between Brad Treliving and Craig Berube at the end. As much as Berube cried tears when Treliving left, Berube did nothing to help Treliving in terms of changing his style, in terms of moving off players, nothing. Berube did nothing collaboratively with Treliving.
To your point earlier about how bad of a season it was, it seemed many times they weren't on the same page at all, that they never talked.
That bleep show in New Jersey ahead of the deadline when they wouldn't sit players was nuts.
Crazy.
That was one of the more unprofessional things I've seen a coach and GM do in the city.
Agreed.
Any team. That was crazy how they were approaching that, or not speaking to each other. SH Ray in the chat writes, I just lost it, forgive me. Oh, here it is. Berube is good if we're tanking again. You know what? That's certainly a way to look at it.
And again, if he's getting the data and not using it, him and Chayka aren't going to get along either.
Well, thank you for bringing that up, because the sense I'm getting from other media people in this town is that yesterday was some kind of vote of confidence for Berube. I did not take it that way at all.
How could you?
That was not a vote of confidence to Berube. They just said, we're going to talk.
Yeah.
That could mean a lot of things. That could mean players behind his back have been destroying Berube to Sundin and Chayka. You don't know that. I didn't hear anything that said to me, for sure Berube's back. I didn't hear it. Now, if they have the conversation and Berube explains himself, because it sounds like he's going to have to explain himself a little bit, as he should. Yeah. Worst defensive team in the league. Across various metrics.
Yeah.
And I think that conversation is going to be huge. Huge. So from that standpoint, I'm actually kind of happy about the Berube angle. There is no terra firma with Berube. We don't know what's going to happen.
No real
Berube.
commitment.
No. And I like that. Why the hell do you commit to Craig Berube after that joke of a season? That was terrible. That's terrible how he handled the roster. He didn't move. He didn't adjust. Played the same idiots every time.
Star player has the worst year.
Star players. Nylander does whatever he wants. Back on PP1. It didn't matter. When they had to tank, he's still playing his best players.
Yeah.
You okay? You okay, Craig?
No kidding.
Did the weight room incident really take a toll? You all right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's coming back. He might, but I'm not 100% at all. Some people were talking it's pretty clear. No, I disagree. That's not what I heard.
And who's the priority, Matthews or Berube? So if you're right, if they're heading to see Matthews first, it's going to carry more weight.
There's no way Matthews wants to see this guy.
100%.
But the problem is Berube even the issue anymore?
No, it's true.
Is the issue with Matthews so far-reaching? Again, I don't want to go around the track on this one more time because we spent 30 minutes on it. It sounds like Auston Matthews has made up his mind. And he did it a while ago. When exactly? Let me see. I don't know. Maybe after he got kneed by Radko Gudas and everyone just kind of laughed it off. Maybe that. Maybe that's the moment. Maybe that's the moment.
The person in the chat yesterday said, who on this roster that you can't change that much do you play with, Auston, to get him back to the level or to make him happy?
Ty Domi has an idea.
I heard that. Hey, he worked last year.
Ty Domi has an idea. I got a great winger for you. Pause in the chat. Berube is the least of our worries. I wouldn't agree with that completely. But now with this Matthews thing, he's not the biggest worry. For a while, he was the biggest worry. Not anymore. Auston Matthews and his representatives just entered the chat. Do you think Berube's back next? Again, I can't even, after this Matthews story today, I can't even wrap my head around it fully. Do you think Craig Berube is on the bench night 1 of the National Hockey League season?
After all this, there's no way I could see it. I can't see him being back at
I
all.
can't see it either. I'm
really
with you.
Can't.
I cannot see Craig Berube, considering the job he just did, to be given a chance by an analytically driven general manager.
Exactly.
That makes no sense.
Exactly.
There's no way, unless he's being told Berube's the coach.
And to be fair, can I just say, they're doing the right thing by talking to him because they need his input on what went wrong this year. So they do have to do an exit interview.
But that's one half of the story.
Yeah.
The whole story isn't Berube's version.
No.
Like, there's no way they're going to be doing that.
Again, Sid, it's them talking to 20 people. That's the same thing I'm talking about Austin with Shane. Like, you get other opinions. And if what you're seeing doesn't match up, then you make a decision.
See, my issue is, who are you talking to? I don't want to talk to Max Domi about this. I don't want to talk to Nylander. I don't want to talk to Jake McCabe. I don't want to talk to Morgan Riley.
Of course not.
I don't want to talk to Anthony Storr. You know who I want to talk to? I want to talk to Bobby McMahon. I want to talk to guys in that room who were there and saw things and don't feel encumbered to give you their version of it because it would benefit them.
Scott Lawton?
I want to hear Scott Lawton's take. Yes.
But he could come back.
Yeah.
Free agent.
Maybe Scott Lawton isn't completely unbiased either.
Yeah.
But like, give me Nick Waugh. I want to talk to Nick Waugh.
Oh, you know what? I changed my mind.
Give me some other opinions.
Scott Lawton might, if he wants to come back, he's going to give you an honest opinion on Berube and what he did wrong because he's a guy who wouldn't play him more than 10 minutes. So, no, I changed my mind, actually. Talk to Scott Lawton.
Money in the chat. Talk to Ryan O'Reilly.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, he left that room pretty quick.
He did.
It's an interesting theory. No, but it's about the room.
Yeah, that's fair.
Is it a room issue? I think it's a room issue,
That's
personally.
fair. Well,
I just think no one's taking control of anything.
Again, though,
Like,
but
anything.
It's a decade of them banking on this core 4 guys who don't have that in them. Who are the leaders?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, your core sucks.
And again, how many different coaches
Like,
have
what
you
do you-
tried
like,
with these guys? Yeah, no,
I'm
you're
with
right.
you.
You're bang on.
I'm with you.
So no coach is going to tell you. I don't know.
Okay, so now to the issue of Auston Matthews wants to see improvements. Like in 3 or 4 months, he wants to see improvements on a roster that loaded with bad contracts.
Quick retool.
Quick retool.
That's it.
The hell is he? He clearly is gone. That's impossible with this team. However, let's live in a world for a moment where it's not impossible. Let's live in a world for a moment where John Chayka and Mats Sundin can bring in 2 or 3 quality players and change things immediately.
This is the hockey part. Forget Chayka's pass. Forget it all. Look
This
at
is
this
the hockey
roster,
part.
and what are you going to do?
This is the hockey part.
Yes.
So Elliot asked him about the team and where he feels there needs to be improvements. And I thought this was as close as we came to getting some truth from John Chayka about what the priority is on the roster first.
Talk about the team. When you look at the team, what has to change?
So, good question. I'll start with what needs to stay, which is I think you can only win with world-class talent and world-class people, and I think we have some of that. And so, I think it's my job is to take that and surround it with the best and the brightest. I want to build the best front office we can possibly build, make sure that we're supporting our players. They know we've got their backs. There's good communication. They feel valued, and I think if we can do that, their performance will continue to improve. In terms of what needs to change, I do think we need to, do our best to, change the mix on the back end. I think, if you look at how this group defended, we defended too long. We didn't break out the puck well enough. We didn't join the rush well enough. And, a lot of that starts from the back end. So I think that's a kind of key priority for us and something we'll be focused on.
Agreed, the back end was an issue. Agreed. No doubt. Now, once again, that bails out the forwards because part of that is 0 forecheck. Part of your defensive, we never have the puck issues is you never have the puck. And the forwards, again, by someone with a Maple Leaf crest on their jacket, are being bailed out of that. Once again, forwards in this town have not had any defensive accountability ever, except for Auston Matthews taking every defensive draw.
Right.
He has to be the defensive guy.
Yes. That's all he does.
Under Berube.
Yeah.
They can't win a forecheck. Don't think that doesn't affect your back line. Your slow Backline. But with that said, as he was talking, I'm looking at the Leafs draft pick situation.
Yeah.
It's better than it was, honestly. Brad Treliving was a lot of things. They did their best. Like, all they're missing right now, again, they might not have a first rounder, a high first rounder next year. They have one from the Avs. It won't be high in the Nick Waugh deal. And they might not have one this year. But they have all their second rounders coming up the next 4 years. They have 3 of their 4 third rounders coming up the next 4 years. Their draft pick situation, in fairness, has improved slightly. So I know there's a lot of people in the chat saying they don't have any assets. In terms of prospects, you're right. The pick situation's better. It's a little better.
But that takes time.
Takes time. But what I'm saying is that back line that can't move the puck properly or skate that John Chayka just talked about, you do have something to play with here potentially.
Yeah, for sure.
An extra $9 million if you want to be good.
So
it's up to you. Go
to
ahead.
my point, that's why tonight's draft lottery is very important. If they can get a top 5 pick, a top 3, 4, like, there are defensemen in there who could do that. Like, who could start that transition.
That freaks me out, man. The notion that a teenage defenseman is going to come in and save Keith Pelly and MLSC and make Auston Matthews. No, but that
it starts the process.
Azzo, stop it. You know full well the pressure that kid is going to be under, assuming they get a pick time.
No, and all I'm saying, you should understand it starts the process. He's not.
There's no process here. Everyone's freaking out for their jobs.
That's true.
There's no process. That's what's been killing the Leafs for 60 years.
One
person looking out for their job after another.
Yeah.
Because either the owner's crazy or inept or some combination of the two. That's been Toronto hockey. That's the story.
You're bang on. I say what that guy says. Yeah, what he said. Just to go back to yesterday. There's Ben Lyon in the chat. Anyone watching could give that answer. Because it's true. After that that homestand where they lost the 5 straight games.
It's true.
You got beat by Quinn Hughes. You got beat by Mo Sider. You got beat by, you saw defensemen come in here who run the game right now.
Hyper Bear in the chat. Sid needs a quesadilla.
You ever had a breakfast quesadilla? That's the one thing I'll give you. Breakfast quesadillas are good.
Isn't it the same thing?
No.
What's the difference?
Well, it's like got all the breakfast stuff in it, like egg, bacon, just in a quesadilla. You never had that?
By the way, Kazuma Okamoto clearly listens to this podcast, eats quesadillas, hits home runs. We know this. We had no time to really spike a football on that yesterday.
You made a comment about it, but yeah.
Okamoto hits quesadingers. That's what he does.
Just like you.
Not in the 9th inning yesterday, but whatever. He leads the team.
We're going to get into that later.
I'm not going to criticize.
Because I have an issue with that.
I'm not going to.
Can I give 2 things on that answer though?
Go ahead.
One, now I lost my train of thought. No, one was the way he started it. I hate it because it sounded like a job interview. When somebody says, "Well, what's your biggest weakness?" Well, let me tell you my biggest strength first. Like, you know what we need? World-class people here. Like, never mind what I got to change. Let me tell you what we're going to keep. We're going to keep the best people here. Well, thank you. No kidding.
Are you surprised by that?
No.
Oh, wait, neither am I.
And then my second point was, if you're mentioning all those defensive metrics and you just had the coach that had like the worst defensive metric across the board, how is he still here?
The worst.
Like last in the league in almost every defensive metric.
They were 33rd in shots against. There's only 32 teams. How does that even work?
Yeah.
There's not even 33 teams.
Well,
oh, 33rd.
My God. Like, if you're going to quote that and that coach, like, that's why I'm saying he can't be back next year. It doesn't make sense.
I don't think he can.
Anyway.
But I do agree with John Chayka, the new GM of hockey operations. A mobile defenseman might help.
Would be everything.
I think would help a little bit, especially if you're not going to win any forecheck under Craig Berube as a head coach.
And your immobile defenseman shouldn't be playing 25 minutes a night. Guys who can't skate shouldn't be getting over 20 minutes a night.
Playing Morgan Riley like that was crazy.
Insane.
It really was crazy.
And not switch up partners, not do anything to try and fix it. Was just, like you said, just rolling out the same guys.
That's Berube. Leonard in the chat, can't fire the coach day 1. Give it time. Yeah, you can fire him day 10.
Yeah.
You can fire day 15. No, but my point is, I didn't want him fired yesterday, but I didn't want a vote of confidence.
Yeah, right.
A vote of confidence would have been like just irrational and irresponsible considering the season the Leafs had. That's not how that goes. You can't tell me constantly how smart Chayka and Sundin are, and they go out there and go, we haven't talked to Berube yet, but he's our guy.
Yeah.
That guy. That's not how that works. Can't do that.
Did Pelly say it? And Chayka just went, yep, what he said.
Yep. Boom. Thanks, boss.
Boom.
That's
my
boss.
guy.
Thanks, boss.
Man.
So Elliot and I'm lifting this from Azo, who's been kind of mentioning this to me for a couple days, and it's true. Recently on 32 Thoughts, Elliot made reference to having a lot of notes on Chayka, but he hadn't had a chance to talk to Chayka. So Azo was kind of like, well, clearly, like Freach has a specific line of questioning he'd like to make with Chayka, and he hasn't done it yet. I'm like, yeah, definitely, it sounds that way. So Elliot had a chance to in this interview. And clearly, one of the things Freach has heard from other people around the league is Chayka is so hated and disrespected, no one's going to be able to work with him or want to trade with him, which is an angle I hadn't thought of.
We kind of mentioned it yesterday.
Yeah, but I always we'll chop it up after. Let's run the clip of Chayka talking about whether or not other GMs in the league will work with him because they think he's a weasel.
The things that somebody said to me was that it shows the challenge that you have. That there's not a lot of grace from the other managers here, and that they're upset about your history and you resurfacing in this spot, and it will make the challenge for you even greater.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
So I think there's a combination of things even. I think there's that part that you're talking about, and I also think there's a part of the Toronto Maple Leafs where, I don't think the league's going to do us any favors, writ large. And, we want to get the job done here, and we're not worried about, the outside. We're going to focus on our team and what we can control. And in terms of me personally, I've always tried to, act as professionally as I can, be a good communicator, work with people to understand what they're looking to do in terms of transactions. And I think if I can continue to do that, my history has been that I've been able to make good transactions for the team, and that's my focus.
Can you work with the other GMs in this league? You've got to make deals. You've got to go on group chats with them.
Yeah.
You've got to get things done.
Yeah.
Are you concerned at all you can't do that?
Yeah, I would just point to my history. We were very successful in transacting in Arizona. I think I have great relationships. I really do. There's still a lot of general managers that reached out to me after my announcement. A lot of them I have interacted with and dealt with in the past. It's a pretty good overlap still in the league. And so I've sat in the chair, I've made those transactions, I have those relationships, I have zero reservation about my ability to do that part of the job.
F. Anderson in the chat. This chat is hangry. Yeah. So during that clip of John Chayka talking about how everyone's out to get the Leafs, everyone's out for the Leafs. Azo nearly passed out. And you could probably see it in the little box as we played it. Go ahead, Azo. Your first take on that quote.
I just think to come in day one and say the league's out to get this team when you're the one with the shady past is just insane to me. And you're just feeding, is that trying to win the fan base over? Like the center of the hockey universe who thinks that these people are always out to get them? What are you talking about, man? Again, it just leads to my credence that this guy's just here to be the fall guy, and they can just say to him, yeah, nobody wanted to work with him. We got led astray by Glasberg, and this guy, nobody wanted to work with him.
Okay, but Azo, hold on. So your theory that they just brought in the shady guy because they feel bad times are coming, why not just bring in a respected guy then? What's the
because
theory
maybe they didn't want it. To your point yesterday, maybe some guys just didn't see they couldn't see
a lot of people, listen, Keith Pelly's going to be in the room. I got news for everyone. Pelly is not going anywhere. And there were respected people in this league who gave it the Heisman real quick.
Or didn't see a retool in
real, or looked at the roster or some combination of the two and said, I'm out.
Bang on.
This organization and this job is not what you think it is. That's what we learned yesterday.
I agree with that 100%.
It's not what you think it is. There are smart hockey people who know this team is ass, and it's not being run properly on top of it. The roster's not good, and it's not being run properly.
And the league's out to get you now. That's why I have a problem with it. You should be coming in here saying what you're about to do and how you're about to help this franchise. And to say, I don't know, kind of say, I don't know, because, the league's not going to do anything to help us. That blows my mind that you would say that on your first day of work.
Well, now, there's two sides to that. One, there was a moment in time where people were just picking guys off the waivers just to piss Dubas off when he was a Leaf GM. That's a fact.
Okay.
Every goalie that went on there left. He could not clear a play. No, but that was not about their good players. It's F. Dubas.
Yeah.
That was F. Dubas. John Chayka yesterday talking about the league's not going to do us any favors. What other GM wants to do a GM a favor?
Right?
What the hell are you talking
That's just
about?
Being smart.
What are you talking about? Again, and I mentioned this yesterday. If I'm another GM, I'm the first guy calling John Chayka.
Those are the guys you were texting.
I want that guy on the phone.
Yeah.
I don't want Brisebois and Zito or any of these guys. I want John Quickfinger Chayka. Because then business is picking up. Because I think that the record of trades made over X amount of years for both Treliving and Chayka, it's hilariously different. Like Chayka is a serial trader. Whether it works or not, Chayka will make a move. Treliving was like that fantasy manager in your football league who has he clearly has needs, but is just being an idiot about it. And will not trade with you.
Or will offer you a trade and not accept it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Or pulls it back.
Yeah. And I'm talking real pools, not like idiot dynasty leagues.
Whoa. Oh my God. Okay.
Azzo's in this football dynasty league.
I'm in a couple of them, dude.
They're already having meetings
too
last
much work
night.
for you to do dynasty.
Stupid. A dynasty league is stupid.
You have to have a rookie draft to get the draft.
It's ridiculous.
I can't, because you can't manage a team all year.
Because I don't want to manage a team all year.
You don't evaluate talent very well.
I wasn't hired.
That's how you got me.
I was not hired by Ed Rodgers to run a team. I don't want to run the whole team. I don't want to do that.
You can't evaluate talent. That's how I ended up here.
I hate the line, well, no GM's going to do the Leafs any favors. Who does any GM favors?
Says the guy who did almost anything to get who he wanted and do. Of course.
You know the only GM who's done someone a favor in all actuality, and since it's draft night, this story's worth telling. And I believe I need to get this right. I believe Don Waddell is the one who took the first overall pick the year Patrick Steffen was drafted.
Well, I was going to say,
we're going way back in the day.
Well, you find the story. I was going to say, ask Edmonton what they think about St. Louis.
It was Don Waddell.
Oh, okay.
So tonight, one of the big stories is the Vancouver Canucks, with a 25.5% chance to win the lottery, have never picked first overall. They've never done it. That doesn't mean they've never had a first pick. They acquired the first pick overall in '99 from Tampa. Now, they also had the third pick, but they wanted to set up a scenario where at 2 and 3, they take the Sedins. Daniel, because he's wearing 22, goes second. Henrik at 33 goes third.
Right.
But Atlanta had the second pick. So Brian Burke and Don Waddell come to a gentleman's agreement to swap picks. Don Waddell agrees, and he could have gone back on this in a second.
Yeah.
He agrees to not take any Sedins with the first pick and let Vancouver at 2 and 3 have their moment with the Sedins. So that's technically still the closest the Canucks have ever come. They never won a lottery, but that's the closest the Canucks have ever come to drafting first overall. Based on their luck recently, they're going to drop two spots tonight. No problem. But that's the only favor I've ever seen
Agreed,
a GM
and
do
it's
to
a great
another
story,
GM.
for sure.
Ever.
Well,
Don Waddell and Brian Burke.
Talk to Edmonton about what St. Louis did to them with those 2 offer sheets. That kind of screwed them.
Yeah, the offer sheet screwed them.
Right?
Correct.
That's what GM should be out to do. I'm surprised more of that doesn't happen.
It's a really dicey thing if it goes wrong. Because at some point you feel, and by the way, like, we're not far away from Canes Habs conference final, the Kotkaniemi Bowl, and the Aho Bowl.
I love it.
Like, they could be really good, by the way. The offer sheet bowl.
Yeah, Philly gave away that game.
They did. The Konechny should have won the game.
100%.
But I don't like the notion that, no GMs are going to do the Leaf favors. No guff. No kidding.
Again, from a guy who kind of got caught doing some stuff that was underhanded. I mean,
anyway. So that's that clip. Then we get to Sundin. Dare I say the most interesting clip of the entire Frege interview to me. Now, as you listen to this, listen for the follow-up at the end with Elliott. He's asking about Mats Sundin, who's an advisor, and how this is going to work with John Chayka. Based on the reporting and based on what I read and kind of based on what I saw yesterday in the presser, Chayka would have final say. I know Keith Pelly was all about collaborative this and collaborative that, but it felt like Sundin was going to be a voice, a serious voice, but not the last voice. That would be Chayka. Listen to the end of this clip, because it threw me for a loop. And Mats Sundin is way more involved in this than I initially gave him credit for. Here it is.
See Mats's role. Technically, you're above him on the hierarchy. How do you see his role?
Yeah, I don't really see it that way. I think from my perspective, my job as general manager is to generally manage, and that means that, every day there's lots of
no.
Hold on. My job as a GM is to generally manage,
Sid, I'm a producer. I just produce things. I don't know.
to generally produce.
To generally produce.
I'm a host. My job is to generally host.
Well, you're not a general host. Well,
No,
you are a general host.
My job actually is to generally average host.
You're a general sports host, a host about general sports.
About general things. Please play it from the top again, please.
Oh my goodness.
Of him on the hierarchy, how do you see his role?
Yeah, I don't really see it that way. Like, I think from my perspective, my job as general manager is to generally manage, and that means that, every day there's lots of decisions made, and there's not one person making those decisions. I think it's important to have an amazing group that collaborates, that puts all the information on the table, no ego, and the best.
Okay, let's stop giggling for 2 seconds because that is a great clip. What he's about to say about Sundin changes the game. It's coming up.
Here we go.
No ego, and the best idea should win. And if that's my idea, that's great, but oftentimes it's not going to be. And if it is, we've got a problem. So, Mats has got a big voice. He's got a lot of thoughts on what, he thinks needs to be done. I'm going to listen to that and obviously take it extremely seriously, and vice versa. I think we've got a lot of respect for each other, and we're going to bounce ideas off here with the end goal of what's the best for the organization.
So if you have an idea and Matt says, I think that's a bad idea, what happens?
We don't do it.
That simple?
That simple.
Okay.
Whoa.
Wow.
What happens if Mats doesn't like your idea? John Chayka, quote, "We don't do it." Hold the phone, man. That is a strongly worded description of that relationship.
Very much.
Do we live in a world let me give you a theory. Because again, for those just kind of popping onto the stream here, Steve Simmons in his column last night. Steve Simmons had a pretty low-key day yesterday. But in his column last night, he insinuated John Chayka is telling people Ed Rogers hired him, not Keith Pelly. Azzo, let's walk down that road for a second.
Okay.
Let's assume that's true. What if we live in a world where Pelly goes, I don't know about this guy, Ed. And Ed goes, I like him. I've dealt with him before. I think he's an unused asset. I think he's ready to prove the world wrong. And Keith Pelly goes, it's my reputation too. Ed's like, I'm aware of that. Ed's like, who would you like to see in the room? And Keith goes, Mats. What if this pairing of Mats Sundin and John Chayka is a compromise? Ownership wants one.
Yeah.
Keith wants the other.
I think you're bang on.
It's not the most implausible thing I could bring up.
Can I tell you why too?
Go ahead.
Because I think Pelly has his Chayka in Hamza Turan.
Hamza Turani, yeah.
I think he has his Chayka. He has his data guy.
And Hamza Turani is the high-ranking, data-driven executive in MLSC who is reportedly Pelly's number 2.
Like he could have been in that room with Mats to give him the data.
Maybe.
Like, and why would you go down the data Pelling if Mats has final say? Like how much it seems hard to me to sell Mats on some of the, like, you're trying to bring in this guy who's so smart based on analytics and data, and yet Mats can just say no to it all.
Pelly's reaction yesterday at the dais, which was far less emotional than I thought he would, when quite frankly, John and his entire family were being insulted by Steve Simmons in front of the hockey world. It didn't make sense to me at the time, but like I'm working through it here, just talking out loud.
Same, 100%.
Maybe Sundin and Chayka is a Pelly ownership compromise. Because if Ed Rogers wants something, I got news for you. He's going to get it because he's cutting the checks. And if people don't like that, start your own company. Figure that out.
Also leads to the theory on why there are no real distinct titles here. Or Mats was waiting on how much power.
I still think that's a load of garbage.
Of course it is.
No one cared about titles. I thought that was kind of important.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. But for him to say that, it gives more credence, I think, to this theory.
Luca in the chat, I'm a cook, so I cook things.
A general cook.
A general cook, yes.
It's like cook general things.
Sorry, I read it incorrectly. I don't know what this means, but I kind of agree with it. There's too many traps being set right now.
Yeah, like that's how it feels.
I
Man.
don't know where Raptors gal is going with this, but I kind of agree with it. I can't put my finger on it, but it doesn't feel right.
Like again,
it doesn't feel right.
Just parade this guy out there to take the hits, and he's going to take it for what he's getting paid. He's going to be okay because he has stat lead. He has however many win. Like this guy's going to be fine. This is his only way back into this league is to take these hits.
JT in the chat, it was a disrespectful press conference. At times it was.
And now,
I agree with that.
Like Pelly didn't even say that. Like that's not the time for this, Steve. Or
Pelly would have looked like a hero if he scolded Simmons. Like what would Brian Burke have done in that situation?
Just for the
now,
way
Brian Burke also wants to like
kill.
take out his knee in a soccer slide tackle, and I know they have no relationship, and I get it. But like a lot of GMs in that situation would have been like, whoa. If you want to talk to me on background, off the record, we can have a conversation all day. I don't know if he can or not. I don't know if they have that relationship.
No, I think the majority of what you heard yesterday is just the way the question was phrased. There's no problem with asking about
there's a million different ways you could have raised that.
And Pelly could have said that easily to him.
Yep.
We're up here to welcome him. Like, that's a bit disrespectful. You can find a better way to
now,
or something.
Keep in mind, that still was the same press. Now, the only thing I think of in terms of Steve Simmons not being offside is like if you ask a proper question, like for example, Chris Johnston asked, why didn't Chayka's past raise red flags for you? And Pelly really didn't answer it. Now, maybe we're starting to figure out why he didn't answer it because he didn't hire the guy.
Bang on. Yep.
But at the time, it was a weird answer. Like even when you asked something properly yesterday, you didn't get a straight answer. Part of me does agree with the bull in the shop mentality. And again, Steve doesn't care, and that's up to Steve to decipher in his own mind. But the Matt, sorry, getting back to the Mats Sundin thing. If Mats Sundin thinks it's a bad idea, we don't do it, is a wild quote, considering the uncertainty that surrounded this. That, I think we learned something with. I wasn't prepared for that. Were you prepared for that?
No, he gives credence why he moved his family and is living in Toronto now.
Wow.
Right? Because that was the report too. Matt's is waiting to hear how much power he'd have. Sounds like he got it.
He's not moving his whole family here to be a wallflower in meetings. I'll tell you that.
Bang.
Well, I think we knew. I think we all had the same assumption there. But to that extent, what happens if Mats Sundin doesn't like your idea? We don't do it.
But did you hear him earlier too? Like, I hate that again from a new guy coming in. Like, I'll try and give ideas, but they probably won't be the best. Or what did he said something like that earlier in the clip? I think I can find it if you want to hold on.
Yeah.
Like, hang on, listen to this.
It puts all the information on the table, no ego, and the best idea should win. And if that's my idea, that's great, but oftentimes it's not going to be.
Why would you say that? That's a weird. Are you trying to be funny?
Yeah.
Most of the time, my idea is not going to be the best.
John Schneider, Mats Sundin. A tip. John Schneider tries to be funny all the time. He's never funny.
But
don't do it.
Was that trying to be
just
funny?
Don't do it. I don't know what he's trying to do. I don't know John Chayka at all. Like, I don't know his deal. I got to be honest with you. Do you know how many scrums I saw from his Phoenix days? 0.
It's true.
That's the first time yesterday I've heard him speak English. And we're going to have another clip where he wasn't speaking English here in a second. But that's the first time I've heard words out of, I think that's the first time most Leaf fans heard him utter words. Honestly, he's been written about and talked into some mythical character. And that's the first time people kind of got to see it. And I think, it wasn't the biggest disaster I've ever seen, but it wasn't like a home run at all. Can you play I'm a GM who manages generally again?
Of course. I want to play this whole clip again. Wait, this is that same one, right?
Play the whole clip. No, it's the same one. Sundin. It's the Sundin one.
My job as general manager is to generally manage, and that means that, every day there's lots of decisions made, and there's not one person making those decisions. I think it's important to have an amazing group that collaborates, that puts all the information on the table, no ego, and the best idea should win. And if that's my idea, that's great, but oftentimes it's not going to be.
What?
Unnecessary.
So then why'd you get the job?
Unnecessary comment.
Like, he didn't even laugh after.
No, he didn't. He was being serious. And all he didn't say at the end of that was, you saw my record in Arizona, right?
It's going to be whatever. So now it's not only whatever Pelly says, it's whatever Matt says too.
He follows up with, and if my idea is not the best, I'm just going to cheat at the combine. I'm just going to train guys and evaluate them on my own time. I've learned nothing. Patrick in the chat. How about this, Azo? Patrick in the chat. At least he's not a rookie GM. Maybe he learned. Why are we not leaving open that possibility more?
Well, because that question came up from Freach too. How are you different now? And the first thing he goes through, I'm older, I'm married, I have kids. Like, what? Like, no, how did you learn on the job? What have you taken away from the job? And he says, well, surrounding myself with people who know, which he didn't do in Arizona. It's all bizarre.
Okay. I find it funny we're not leaving the possibility open at all.
For sure.
Maybe
No,
he
it's
learned
true.
something.
It's true.
Do I think he did? I don't know. I'm leaning towards no. But like it's on the table. He's not 26 anymore. He's 36. He's not in some rinky-dink organization. He's with the Leafs.
No, you know what? Because I can answer you. Because when it came up yesterday, Pelly didn't answer it. In these questions, he's not answering. Like, he's not. That's why. He's not
But there's
telling us
nothing
how
to
he's better.
Azzo, there's nothing to answer. Like, they haven't made a trade. They haven't made a draft pick. They haven't spoken to Matthews. They haven't spoken to Berube. There's like that the part of these news conferences that's almost you can't win is there's nothing to talk about but bad history with him.
But you can't say what you learned from that bad history?
He did, in his defense, he talked about valuing his relationships a bit more around the league. He did, like, now he also blamed bad ownership in an arena deal that they were looking for a lot, which I don't see how they're mutually exclusive. I don't really understand what he's talking about. But I guess what he's trying to say maybe is the pressure to be good was big. The pressure to show city council in Phoenix and Glendale and all these other places that you're legitimate was more paramount than we thought.
He also mentioned all the other businesses he owns and how much money they made and managing those people and understanding people as a life. Like, I guess that's where being married now and being older and wiser and more mature comes in. But I don't know.
So you think, no, but I think this is an important point. Do you think there's no chance this works?
No, of course not. You gotta give him a shot.
Because I don't believe there's zero chance. Brad Treliving was a nightmare. Brendan Shanahan got lazy. Like, we've seen people in this town who should know what they're doing. John Ferguson Jr. had experience in a front office, and he froze constantly. Like, Brian Burke won a cup. Didn't go well. A lot of bad calls. Like, how much worse can it get? I guess it's a terrible ideology.
I don't think you want to ask that.
But how much worse can it get?
I think it can, though.
It's been because I grew up in the 80s, Azzo. You grew up in the 80s. It got bad.
Okay, but
it got bad.
Hear me out on this. Was this roster in bad construction form already when Brad Treliving got it? Having to make a decision on Marner, letting that go. Like, the roster was already in a bit of a bad situation.
It got worse with Treliving.
It's worse.
It got worse.
Like,
yes.
Not only, I think that's my problem with being so skeptical about this, is that this guy's not giving me any confidence, and I understand how bad of a situation this is, how much his back is up against the wall. This is a house of cards ready to fall and just be bad for years on years on years.
Well, if Matthew says I'm out, the rebuild has started, whether you like it or not.
Right.
Spike in the chat, he's going to be better than Treliving. He might.
But the roster's in a worse place.
Yeah, but again, he hasn't done anything yet.
But how much can he do given the roster?
I don't know. You don't know. Quite frankly, he doesn't know because he hasn't generally managed yet.
But you mentioned it with Austin.
All I'm saying is there was a time in my life Tampa sucked. Yeah. There was a time in my life Dallas weren't great. There was a time in my life Montreal, not that long ago, didn't really know where they were going. They got kind of lucky in 2021 with that run. Let's be honest. Should have lost to the Leafs. But, like, it wasn't that long ago. They don't do it for the Leafs necessarily, but things in this league do have a habit of turning. I'm just saying they haven't screwed up yet.
Right.
When they screw up, you and I are going to be on here for many hours. But nothing has happened yet other than John Chayka did this in Arizona, and Steve Simmons talked to 19 people who hate his guts.
But again,
that's what happened.
When half your roster can't be traded to half the league or like 3/4 of the league, like, your hands are tied even more. And the moves you can make are divided by 5, 10, 20.
Hey, listen, if you're trying to convince me that no trade clauses are bad, you win. I'm with you. But no trade clauses are bad. But, like, there are options on the table to a certain extent. One of these guys might waive it, Azo.
Yeah, I know that.
You know what I'm saying?
But
Like,
then he might only give you 3 teams. And like the move you can
Well-
make might be not a panic move, but it's a move you're forced to make instead of the move you
Look,
should make.
Let's get to the real issue here, especially with Auston Matthews and his team telling Chris Johnston this morning he doesn't know if he's going to be here in the fall, which is about as strong a statement as you're ever going to hear from a Leafs captain in the city.
Thank you.
If that happens, someone answer me this. What have the core of the Toronto Maple Leafs for 10 years won?
The division once.
What are you scared of? Like, what are you scared of? What have they won?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm waiting for an answer. Is anyone out there? Is there a GM who generally manages who wants to talk to me? Does anyone have an answer as to what the core have won and what you are so terrified of losing?
While getting everything they wanted.
Everything they wanted.
That's my problem.
Some of you are working under the pretense Matthews off this team is bad. Some of you are working under the pretense William Nylander off this team is bad. Why? What if you found a new core? What if you found a different core with some skill who sticks up for each other? Right? Now, I don't know if you're going to do that because you got 3 more years of John Tavares. Thanks, Brad. But like the fear in this city of moving on from the core, from ownership down to like a decent amount of the fan base is wild. Did you lose sleep because Marner had a 2-point game last night? You don't care. There's bigger fish to fry here. Congratulations for him and Sparky, whatever his dog's name is. What do you care? At some point, Leafs Nation has to come to the realization the core that was in place was an utter playoff failure, and that potentially moving off of it is not the end of the world. Just think about it. It's not like Edmonton have a different situation right now. Very different. And before the end of the week, Azo, we got to go through a lot of that sound from Saturday. I don't think it's ever too late. I heard media availability Saturday to Edmonton I've never heard before in my life. And I know some of you missed it. We're going to go through that. Thursday. Let's do Thursday.
Yeah, I think Thursday would be a good day.
But the Leafs and their fan base cannot be in this constant state of fear of being held hostage by playoff failure. That is a losing attitude. And you see it every year come the spring. You got to shed yourself of that. It's a disease in this city. It's unbelievable. What are we going to do without Nylander and Matthews? I don't know. One day win a cup? Heaven forbid. Just you gotta flip your thinking on this a little bit. Now I understand ownership with a $10 billion TV deal with the National Hockey League. It's good to be good. You want people watching the games. You don't want the next Dion Phaneuf out there. I get it. But you got to move on from it at some point, and stop being afraid of it is the bigger issue. You know what I read today in Chris Johnston's article? Matthews is done with you. Stop defending Matthews. Let him not score 40 goals somewhere else then. Let him do that. It's fine. But the panic in this city, the panic to move on from the core 4 that gave you nothing in the spring, nothing, is one of the most misplaced sporting emotions I've ever seen in the city of Toronto. You have to get some stones on this and toughen up. In Philly, in New York, and Boston, they would be ridden out of town in year 4 of that core. Year 4. The panic has to end. It has to end because you're better than that.
Panic or fear? And if you didn't learn
It's
your
both.
yeah,
It's both.
because if you didn't learn your lesson when Willie wanted to hold out or when he held out, if you didn't learn your lesson on not being able to move Marner when you did, and then watching him walk for, Nick Waugh, and I guess you ended up getting a first rounder. But like, if you didn't learn from those two, like learn it with Matthews.
But I think most people will. I think most people agree with you, Azzo. I think some people will still be like, and listen, before I woke up this morning, I would have been in the camp of it's probably smart to keep 34.
I think we've come full circle on our first Austin.
But if Austin's camp is leaking this, it's game over, guys. Game over. Wait for Brady Tkachuk to do it in 3 weeks. Watch this.
And to me, now he has all the power. Where before it could have been maybe a bit.
He's had all the power the whole time. That guy is the captain with a no trade clause, has had the power the entire time.
No, of course.
At no point have the Leafs have control of any of this.
But I'm just saying, I think you could have spelled it a different way. But now he's putting it in your court.
It's over.
Yeah.
It's over.
Exactly.
Now, Leaf fans, let's say he's on the team this coming fall.
Actually, that'd be more scary to me.
There are Leaf fans who would still be holding up signs on the glass pre-end. We love you. We love you.
That's more scary to me.
It's my first Leaf game. Love you.
I want this decision made in the offseason. I don't want to start the season where he could do it midway or whatever.
As though they have no option. If Auston Matthews communicates anything wishy-washy, and quite frankly, he already did today in CJ's article, it's over. It's time for the Leafs to nut up and do what is necessary and the ugly thing. And letting a captain walk for nothing. Actually, you know what? Austin's going to do them a favor because he's not playing this year. You have no choice. Austin will have done the Leafs a favor because the Leafs will kick this can so far down the road you can barely see it. Austin's actually doing them a favor by forcing them to do this. It's a wild story. It's a wild story. Anything else on this before we move to the last clip?
And we got a couple of requests. Somebody says to lighten it up, we need a sim. Sim, do a draft sim right now.
Let's do it right now.
Or should we play the Chayka clip?
No, let's do a draft sim.
Okay.
Draft sim. So again, tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern, Azzo and I will be here live on X, YouTube, and Facebook. We'll be sitting here and watching the draft lottery like you. Do the Canucks get the first pick? Do the Flames get the first pick? Do the Florida Panthers, who have a top 10 protected pick, do the Florida Panthers get the first overall pick? Do the Leafs at 8.5%? Do they get the top pick? Or do the Leafs just fall one spot? I'm talking one spot. And that pick goes to Boston in the Brandon Carlo deal. What a night this is going to be.
Because we played all our stars all year long.
Thanks, Craig. All right, let's do 5 sims. You want to do 5 sims?
One now and more tonight before. No,
there won't be any time before.
Oh, okay,
because we're going to be up closer to 7.
They won't do it right at 7, though.
It doesn't matter.
Okay,
we're going to do this now because when they're up, we're just going to be commenting on all the hilarious things.
Do 3. There's always 3 guys in the room.
3. All right.
1 to represent Mats, 1 to represent John, and 1 to represent Keith.
All right.
Let's do 3.
We'll do 3. Sim 1. Leafs got a top 5 pick. They keep it. If it's not top 5, don't keep it. Sim 1, here we go. Oh my God, the Seattle Kraken get the first pick at 7.5%, right behind the Leafs. The Kraken in the sim get the first pick. Chicago second, Vancouver third. I'm getting a lot of Vancouver thirds, by the way.
I see that.
You can only drop the 2 spots, but I'm seeing a lot of Vancouver thirds. The Leafs get the 6th pick. It goes to Boston.
Can Chayka convince them to take Matthews for the first overall?
Oh, maybe, yeah. But no one's doing the Leafs any favors.
Right.
All right. Sim 2. The Leafs drop out of the first sim. They get the 6th overall.
Top Senko pick. Let's go.
The Chicago Blackhawks get the first overall pick. Vancouver drops to 3rd again. Leafs get the 5th pick.
Hey,
Leafs get the pick.
Good job,
There
Leafs.
we go.
Good job, John.
Leafs get the 5th pick. Final sim. If the Kraken get the first pick, then go to hell. I don't want the Kraken getting the first pick.
Why not?
Yeah, nah, Jason Botterill gets the first pick. No chance. Here we go. Last sim. The Rangers get the first pick.
Wow, now there's some.
We ran 3 sims. The Canucks 0 for 3 on keeping the first pick. Vancouver dropped to 2nd in this. The Leafs 5th pick.
Hey, so 2 out of 3. See? Okay, end it now, because we kept our pick after 3.
It's done.
We got it.
It's done. Best part of this last sim, the Red Wings, 15th pick.
So would you say number 5 would be a coveted pick, Sid?
Okay. Okay, we got to get to this. We got to.
Yeah, we do. We're running out of time, dude. An hour 45.
I know. Well, the Leafs are just hilarious for the.
Yeah, no Jays. I'm dying to talk Jays.
We're going to get 10 minutes on the Jays.
All right.
We do have some Anthony Santander news coming up. Actually, some actual news. So there was a lot floating around social media yesterday, obviously, after the Leafs and during the Leafs press conference. So the press conference ends, and then Elliott's content comes out because not only did they put the video out of his interview with John Chayka in the Leafs dressing room, they also posted a 32 Thoughts for obvious reasons. So you can hear the interview. Forgive me, I can't name check who it was. Someone online posted a clip from the interview that I had missed. And it's John Chayka pronouncing the word coveted. So he's talking about the job of running the Leafs and how coveted it is. The problem is he didn't pronounce it coveted. He pronounced it like coveted. So I had to play it back like 3 or 4 times, and I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? He is pronouncing coveted in a completely unique way that I am unfamiliar with. And then Azzo said to me about the presser, you heard the same thing in the presser?
I'm pretty sure I heard him say it in the presser too.
Okay, so what I've done is I've taken the clip, and I wasn't going to do this because it felt like kind of piling on, but I thought it was weird. And I wanted you to hear this. And so I've looped it 4 times. It's a short clip. But you're going to hear John Chayka in this clip say coveted 4 times in a way you've never heard coveted pronounced in your life.
Achieving our goals. And yeah, look, it's like I said, it's the most coveted job in sports, and it's also the hardest in my opinion. And achieving our goals. And yeah, look, it's like I said, it's the most coveted job in sports, and it's also the hardest in my opinion. And achieving our goals. And yeah, look, it's like I said, it's the most coveted job in sports, and it's also the hardest in my opinion. And achieving our goals. And yeah, look, it's like I said, it's the most coveted job in sports, and it's also.
So
that's a coveted job, the Leafs head job. That's have I been pronouncing it incorrectly my entire life?
So from a guy who sometimes mispronounces things, especially names, I don't want to throw stones. But like if you take off I guess you do say vetted. And like I guess vetted is doing your due diligence. So maybe it is coveted. I don't know. I've always said coveted, but
Trevor in the chat. Kofefe?
That's good.
Sorry, no, I'm being serious. And I'm asking everyone in the chat. Have we been screwing up coveted for our entire lives in terms of grammar and phrasing?
Mike says Pelly and Chayka coveted the new guys. Shinobi says, so our new GM can't speak English? Great.
He's trying to generally manage the words.
That's true.
Guys, I'm serious.
Is that a
chat,
US?
I'm looking at the chat right now. Guys, help.
J-Ray says he spent too much time in the USA. Dude, that's not how they pronounce. I've never heard them say that. And that's not American slang, is it? Space
Cow in the chat. No, we are normal. I mean, normally someone, Calvin says you pronounce it suspended.
How about this one? Read this one for me.
Luca in the chat. Sheed, coveted, Hagee. I didn't recognize the Hagee.
Oh,
that's a t-shirt. Sheed, coveted, Hagee. Sheed is not MLSE's fault. That was Donovan Mitchell.
It's true.
That was Donovan Mitchell.
Oh, man.
Okay, so no one in the chat's correcting us that we're weird.
Shotgun says Chayka is wrong. No,
it's coveted, right? The most coveted job in hockey. Not coveted. The hell is he talking about with the coveted?
Everything. I'm telling you, vetted.
What is the coveted? They better have co-vetted him coming in. No question about it.
Was that on his written statement? Maybe I heard it when he was reading it. Maybe that's why. And then he just committed to it. At least he's committed.
CL Flores in the chat. This is sad.
Dude.
Yeah. This is a little
Reed
sad.
Edwards here.
Edward Miller in the chat. He's a robot. It's the way AI mispronounces. Wow. Maybe. John Chayka is actually AI.
Because he's right. When you put some words in, right? AI mispronounces it based on other words. Dude, he's bang on.
That's really good. Listen, and people who are a part of the show live at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, every day on all the socials, you guys are an amazing audience, and we're growing by the day. I do know this about you. If someone screws up on the show, you will tell us.
So there's multiple people saying it's American. He's pronouncing it America.
In my life, I've never heard.
I've never heard it either.
I have never.
Kira says it too. There's a bunch of people saying that's American.
Guys,
I don't think so.
You're letting him off the hook. Don't let him off the hook. Don't do it. Kojut in the chat. American is not a language. It's true.
It's true.
Leafs GM is a bot, according to Cursed Soul.
I have family in Arizona. Some people pronounce weird things out there. It's weird.
Judd Haven. He's just general managing.
The English
Very
language.
true.
The English language.
I couldn't believe that. Like I felt like it was too much, but that wasn't too much, right? Like it's important.
It's weird.
Can I hear it again?
Yeah, of course.
I've never heard an American say it this way ever.
Yeah, hang on.
Achieving our goals. And yeah, look, it's like I said, it's the most coveted job in sports, and it's also the hardest in my opinion. And achieving our goals. And yeah, look, it's like I said, it's the most coveted job in sports.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, that's weird. I'm sorry. That's super weird. Okay. So aside from that, everything's good with the Leafs.
Mm-hmm.
Any final words on the Frege interview, which I thought was really good.
George says English versus Chaykanese.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought Frege did a good job.
He did. Frege asked the right questions. It just seemed like, again, he didn't give direct responses. It was always a runabout way, which I know a lot of GMs do.
He still did, to your point, he did not properly explain Arizona. He did not properly go down that road. Now, maybe, listen, I think what people also have to realize is for some of this, there's legally binding things that get signed. You can't say certain things. You can't disparage publicly. Some of that stuff is real. And no one is going to break that, especially if you got paid X amount on the way out.
For sure.
Like they're not.
But to my point, you knew you were going to get asked. There should have been some kind of statement just to put a blanket thing, whether it is, hey, I can't talk about it too much, but this, and like something.
Railside in the chat, ask Manoah, guys. We can ask Manoah about coveted. No, how dare you call it coveted?
I know. Sorry.
You screwed up.
I know. I
That's
told you I
not
can't
American.
pronounce things. I can't pronounce
That's not American.
Yeah.
Final Leaf words, Azzo? Where are we at here?
And
here
we go.
Yep. 100%.
It's going to be interesting. And like you said, the thing is we have to give them a shot. But I mean, again, I just see everything stacked against them. Like, and this gave me no confidence. Like they really needed a confidence booster here. And then on top of the CJ article, like, man, it's just piling up.
It's a weird look about, 25 hours in. It's a weird look.
There's a dark cloud that seems to be getting a bit bigger.
I'm getting the impression the Leafs need some good news tonight.
Yeah.
Maybe that lottery that no one thinks is rigged, but might be rigged, gives the Leafs the number one pick tonight. Who knows?
Again, I'd be cool if they give them the second, third.
I do think third or fourth is perfect for the Leafs.
Perfect. I agree.
Perfect. So you can sit on that Veerhoff kid. He looks like he's the one.
My fourth might even be better.
Just pick the kid from North Dakota and move on. Yeah. How about a good young defenseman for the first time in my Leafs life? How about that? Let's try that. Yeah. Let's try good young defenseman for the Toronto Maple Leafs who can skate and are big and right-shotted and can hit. How about that for the first time? Let's try that.
And we'll be here.
Let's try that. We'll be here live, Azzo and myself, tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern. Don't you dare miss it. We'll be with you for all the hilarity.
Wherever. So many Canadian teams like riding on this, and then there's the Florida angle. There's so much.
So I think there's one lock tonight.
Okay.
Canucks don't get the first overall pick.
Okay.
Nothing's been on their side. What do you think happens with the Leafs tonight? Prediction time.
Oh boy.
What happens with the Toronto Maple Leafs at 7 p.m. Eastern tonight?
I guess just because I'm in this headspace right now, it's the 6th pick.
I think you're bang on. I think it's a 6th pick. And Florida wins the lottery.
I told you that was my feeling from the get-go.
6th pick, and the Florida Panthers win the draft lottery.
It's been my fear all along, and I could see it.
Yep. I'm with you. All right. That's going to be fun this evening.
Actually, you know what? They can drop what? 2? I'm changing my pick. It's the 7th pick.
I mean, once they drop out of the 5th, I don't care where
actually, 6th is worse. You're right. Yeah, no, it'll be 6th.
Okay, two things quickly before we go here. I do want to mention that, Azzo, it's a great time of year.
Yeah, it is. Tell us why.
I will, Azzo. Puck drops, tip-offs, first pitches. When the game is on, you call the shots. Head to betway.ca and bet your way. Must be 19 plus. Play responsibly. We all know it's semifinal, second leg, Champions League week. Starts today with Arsenal hosting Atletico Madrid. 1-1 draw from last week. And then tomorrow, Bayern Munich hosting Paris Saint-Germain after maybe the greatest European game I've ever seen in my life last week. PSG, we're up 5-2. Bayern Munich scored 2 big late goals. One from Luis Diaz, one of the best I've ever seen. And it's 5-4 PSG going into the second leg tomorrow. At some point, Bayern Munich or PSG are going to just kind of go for it. Now, Bayern Munich are at home. I think PSG kind of screwed up here. They had Bayern in the rack and they let them out. Like this was over at 5-2. Bayern have pulled it to 5-4. And Bayern at home have been maybe the best team in Europe this season. I'm not sure how it's going to play out tomorrow, but I see a lot of goals. And I see whoever winning by at least 2. Like I could, if you told me Bayern won that game tomorrow 3-1, I'd believe you. Or if PSG won that game 3-1. Either Bayern's offense will win the day. PSG defensively are not the same team they were a year ago. They look a little softer to me. If you told me Bayern Munich wins the game 3-1, I'd believe you. Or PSG wins 3-1, I'd believe you. I see that kind of scoreline. But yeah, Wednesday, that's the big game on Wednesday. PSG, Bayern Munich, and today, Atletico Madrid and Arsenal. I feel like it's going to be a tight one. I feel like I might need more than 90 minutes today. Just throwing it out there. Might need more than 90 minutes between Atletico and Arsenal. Arsenal coming off one of their best performances of the year over the weekend. They've looked pedestrian for months, but they look good against Fulham. We'll see what they do against Atletico Madrid. I have one prediction. Atletico Madrid will have 11 players behind the ball. They will defend a lot. Diego Simeone's team will defend a lot. Anyway, big Champions League day today, big Champions League day tomorrow. One last thing before the draft lottery tonight, Azo. Leaf fans, if you think you're in a predicament, guess who the Vancouver Canucks are reportedly seriously looking at? It's Pierre Dorion. Thomas Drance for The Athletic wrote the following. The veteran executive Dorion was interviewed in person for the job, according to a report from Darren Dreger. That's a telling indication of Dorion's standing in this ongoing search, and 2 sources confirmed to The Athletic that Pierre Dorion's candidacy isn't just a matter of the Canucks doing due diligence or deep due diligence. That Dorion could legitimately succeed Patrick Alvin as Vancouver's general manager, as one league source put it to The Athletic on Monday, is, quote, a strong possibility. A reminder, Pierre Dorion not only cost his team a first-rounder in the Dadonov trade with Vegas back in the day, which they have since had returned, but Pierre Dorion, as GM of the Senators, had the 3rd worst points percentage among 39 GMs with 7+ years of service since the year 2000. Vancouver, that's who you're kind of looking at. Azo, should Canuck fans be excited about the thought of Pierre Dorion potentially running their hockey team?
Should they be excited that the Canucks maybe coveted Pierre Dorion? What's with Canadian teams like, man, having a soft heart and like giving these guys second chances all of a sudden? Well, guys who haven't been around.
It seems like if you cost your team picks, you get jobs automatically,
year, right?
Like teams are looking for GMs that blow picks for no reason.
Right.
Like did you do that in your history? Come on in. Have a free a lunch and a sandwich. We'll get catering to come up.
Canadians are so nice, man.
Hey, Dave, call catering. Pierre Dorion's here. We got to talk to a guy with one of the worst point percentages in the league since 2000. Wow. So let me ask you one last question before we wrap this up today. Why are teams dumb? Why are NHL teams scared of promoting a qualified candidate? What is going on here?
Or identifying
what is with
good
the completely unqualified or zero experience candidate? Now, it worked in Montreal.
Right.
To be fair about it. And so far, it's worked in Montreal.
If you identify the right guy, wouldn't you rather take a chance on somebody who hasn't had that seat yet rather than especially given the spot the Canucks are in?
Dude, I just don't like the Leafs and the Canucks are not in dissimilar positions in terms of their brand.
Yes.
What is it about some of these? Well, I know what the answer is. They're cheaper. Let's get to it. Pierre Dorion is not going to cost you what someone else will cost you. John Chayka is not going to cost you what someone else would cost you. They are cheaper options. Now, what Sundin's being paid is a different story. I have no idea. But some of this is price tags.
I'll throw another thing at you. Or is it a guy above them? Like, who do you surround yourself with and still wanting final say and all control? Jim Rutherford.
Yeah, I mean, Jim Rutherford's
right?
not helping this franchise do a damn thing.
And he
That's
continually puts himself in front of a mic.
Correct.
Like, and not to bring it back, but like, let's go back to Pelly and maybe he should stop doing press conferences now.
Yeah, that he needs to take a long break. Long break from press conferences. It's not going well. But the Canucks and Leafs right now are operating in a very unique and confusing way. That's ownership.
Yeah. Yep.
Crap runs downhill, man.
Exactly.
Crap runs downhill. If you have people who don't get it, they're not going to get what they want.
Honestly.
And I'm not even talking a cup. I'm talking about respectability.
Culture. Yeah.
It's culture.
Throughout the org.
Someone inside MLSE said John Chayka is a smart guy and I trust him. Someone, whether it's Francisco Aquilini or around Aquilini, is saying Pierre Dorion's misunderstood. It was a clown show in Ottawa.
Unbelievable.
It was a clown show in the playoffs once. Had a run in that playoff, but it made the playoffs once.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eric Carlson, for that. It was a clown show. What are you looking at with any of these candidates? You can go AGM and go even cheaper if you wanted.
Seriously.
And have more qualifications.
100%.
I don't get it. I hope Vancouver and the Leafs know what they're doing. Because if their brand takes any more hits, it's like it's like Street Fighter and your bar is down to a quarter of power. There's not many more hits you can take. But I'm sure they'll figure it out.
No, and to that point, like all I think about is Brad Treliving saying like what a DNA change this team needed. I think it goes like way higher and deeper than that. I thought it was beyond the ice, but I think it's throughout all of MLSE and the way they do things.
Dude, this is day 2
in
Toronto.
Right?
This is day 2.
Dude, we've done like 5 hours on this. And the pieces that came out, like the Saravelli thing yesterday, the Johnson stuff, like I think it's just going to keep coming. And again, Pelly, like not only did he not defend Chayka yesterday, like did he also piss off reporters by saying like half the stuff out there was erroneous or whatever? What did he say yesterday?
Say again, sorry, forgot.
When Pelly was like
erroneous reports.
Reports. Like he was throwing
preposterous.
Right. Like he threw
said
something else.
Those reports were not co-fetted.
When again, 3 guys' names on that byline are usually well respected and well trusted.
Oh yeah.
And just whoever was putting stuff out there to call it all like BS like that in front of them, like you got to be careful, man.
John in the chat, Canucks owner says, "Hold my beer." To the Leafs.
That's good.
Day 2 in Toronto of this Leafs administration.
MLSE got some good news on the Raptors side, right? Somebody open to a trade. We got to do this before it goes because it's going to get old.
Hold on, we got to do it.
It's going to get old.
Let me get the tweet.
I've got it.
You got it?
I think so.
Read it. Is it Michael Grange?
So Michael Grange put out the piece today, right? Yeah. This was the piece. And out of it,
hold on. Read the title, please.
So sorry, I thought you were. Sorry. Michael Grange's piece today. The Raptors season was charmed, refreshing, and encouraging. The offseason could be more challenging. And there was a note in that piece that I'm going to steal from a tweet that another NBA account put out. Grady Dick is reportedly open to a trade from the Raptors, per Michael Grange in that piece.
Wow.
Here we go.
Toronto sports fans.
Let's go.
Just when you thought we were done, the Raptors totally redeemed themselves and turn it around. Grady Dick, his game face doesn't take days off.
Oh,
except when he gets traded. Dude, if I don't want to see that commercial anymore. Trade Grady Dick immediately.
I'll leave that commercial.
Like, Matt Devlin has been uncomfortable with the last name the entire time.
Right.
He will not say it. Just give Matt a break. This guy, he doesn't play defense, He gets a rebound, no assist.
He's a shooter that half the
He's
time
a
can't
he's
shoot.
a 3-point shooter who really can't shoot a 3.
On a rim that usually
does
gives
nothing.
Toronto guys friendly bounces. Come on.
You know what does take a day off? His 3.
Yes. Anyway.
Grady Dick, we hardly knew you.
And I didn't see the path forward for the Raptors. How they get better. Thank you, Grady Dick.
A demoralizing Game 7 loss. Grady Dick is like, guys, I have something to say.
Yeah.
Off in the corner somewhere, Grady Dick and Nick Robertson are like having lunch going, man, they're going to miss us.
Man.
They're going to miss us in the city, eh?
It's crazy. Biggest part about him was the suit he wore on draft night. And since then, like, he's just fallen off.
I don't care. Good luck to you. I don't care.
That's a good way to
take the extra $7 million, give it to RJ, and everyone's
Seriously,
fine.
who says you want? That's the good
fine.
news for the Raptors.
Everyone's fine. RJ stays if you trade Grady Dick.
Yep.
My game face doesn't take days off. Yeah, just your whole game takes days off.
Every day.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, man.
All right.
Get to our Jays talk again.
I think we got a lot accomplished. You know what?
We did.
The Jays are happy we didn't talk Jays today after that 1-for-8 runners in scoring position performance.
They're on. I don't get it.
They'll figure it out.
You know what's crazy to me is John Schneider's really starting to show his frustration. It's getting bad.
Yeah. Well, then manage better. The hell? Oh, what? Sorry, he's a victim. John Schneider's a victim in 16 and 19. Give me a break. Chuckles is not a victim in this. Manage better. How about a lineup that can hit?
Wow.
How about
some moving?
How about have the balls to move Vladdy from the 3 spot for a change? How about that, tough guy?
How about Okamoto was working so well in the 4? Like, I know he got a hit, but like moving him up to the 2, it was working in the 4. Like, but I think that's part of the reason Schneider's getting so frustrated is because every day you got to do this.
Well, the rose is coming off the Popkins bloom a little bit too, eh?
Yeah.
Just a little.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think he's on one of our favorite baseball shows today. So
I'm
gonna have to listen.
I hope Barks has a go.
Yeah.
Hey, Pop, what is going on here?
Why can't Vladdy hit them home runs?
I love Barker.
He's the best. All these people asking for Raw review, tell you, like, didn't get much through it. And I'm on a bit of a break with WWE. You know what? WWE needs to hire Steve Simmons. Throw him in there. Start mixing it up.
What happened with New Day?
They got released. They had a bunch of releases last week.
Not New Day. Not a new day. Not a new day.
And it was weird. We were in the middle of a storyline with Grayson Waller, or what's his name? Yeah,
I don't know Grayson Waller. I know I enjoyed New Day a great deal.
Yeah.
And my favorite gimmick of all time, Bootios. I was a fan of
Bootios,
of
or
New
throwing
Day.
out the pancakes to people until people got sick eating them.
Did Big E get hurt?
Yeah, he had a really bad neck injury.
Because he was one of the most talented guys I've ever seen in my life.
And they started to give him a championship push, and then he hurt his neck really bad.
Really?
Yeah, he had a really bad
So he's
neck
like Big E is out of commission.
Yeah, well, he was part of the broadcast team. Like, he was joining Jackie Redmond and them on the desk before and after.
So there's no chance Big E can come back?
I don't think so, because I think he would have. I think he tried and they were saying like it's too much of a risk.
I know Kofi had a run a championship run. He had a huge push. I thought Big E deserved a push too at some point. Personally,
actually, is it Backlash this weekend? Might be like the follow up.
You got me. If it's not Mania or the Rumble, I have an issue. I have a bit of an issue sometimes following.
Yeah.
So that's why I lean on.
Yeah, Kojuta's saying Big E retired. So yeah, I think it was his Yeah, there you go. Broken neck. Scottleman.
Broken neck. Jesus, that's what happened to Big E.
Serious, dude. It was really bad.
Wow.
Like I think there was a chance he could have died from the way he landed.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I know. I always wonder, like, if you're the guy who did that to him, like, how do you ever get back in the ring?
Kojut in the chat. Big E was a champion. Forgive me.
Yeah, he did.
I wouldn't know that off
briefly,
the top.
very briefly.
I stand corrected.
Very briefly. I mean, I Shady's saying it's like same as Edge had the neck injury, but came back took him 10 years for it to heal and come back.
You know what I love about doing the show with you? The second we talk wrestling, this chat gets hilarious.
It is too.
Really quick. Yeah. It is normally hilarious, but there's a lot of we love all the wrestling love that we get on the show. Because I want to talk wrestling too on the show. I think it's important.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Anything else?
No. I think we're good.
By the way, I do have an Anthony Santander update. He was with the team yesterday in Tampa. Hazel May reported on it. Anthony Santander has rejoined the team not officially, but they're in Tampa.
I mean, if you need your good luck charm anywhere.
Anyone in the Dunedin complex comes out and has a party. That's basically how it is. And Anthony Santander was spotted at the Trop yesterday. Hopefully the Jays offense will also be spotted at the Trop tonight in support of Kevin Gausman.
Good luck with that one.
We'll see.
Oh man. These next two pitchers they're facing from Tampa are really, really
they're good. Hey, listen, have faith in Gausman tonight.
No, it's not Gausman. It's the bats. It's good
Have faith in
pitching.
Gausman. No, it's true.
And Dave Popkins and whoever. Anyway.
All right, we're done. We'll be back at 7 p.m. Eastern tonight.
Yeah,
I
we
have
will.
no idea what tonight's going to hold in
Oh.
store, but it is going to be hilarious either way, and we will be here enjoying it with you online on Facebook, on YouTube, and on X. On behalf of Jeff Azzopardi and everyone here at Sick Media, my name is Sid. You've been watching and listening to the Sid Seixeiro Show, powered by Sick Media. Enjoy the rest of your day. Let's see what tonight brings. Take care. We'll talk soon.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sid Seixeiro Show on YouTube, X, Instagram, Facebook, and wherever you get your podcasts.